so for this afternoon, we will discuss the quiz number 4. So, to be exact on Monday. No? It's number 4, and we'll also just finish 207 and 208 today. Finalize the SP. Right. Okay, so take notes if you wanna. So if we have any questions, you can ask me. Any questions? Alright, so for our quiz number 4, number 1. So this involves management activities over and above the normal architectural and engineering services carried out during the pre-design, design, and construction phase. That's what we call project management. Project management involves from pre-design, design all the way to the construction, after again post-construction again sa site. So even in building facilities management, project management. That's project management. Next, we have in the team approach, each member of the team will have precedence in his own field of operations or expertise. So, in accordance with this principle, the branch shall be responsible for his men and equipment and the delivery of the project. Okay, so if we listen to our discussion regarding the construction management, the part of delivery and it should be the contractor. And the answer is the contractor. So the contractor shall be responsible for his men and equipment and the delivery of the project. Next, 3. So shall not impose methods, systems, or designs that will substantially affect the construction schedule and impair the design concept of the architect. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Hello, hello. Kana siya. Parang na siya. Okay, so shall not impose methods, systems, or design that will substantially affect the construction schedule and impair the design concept of the architect. So this is the limitation of the construction manager. No? So the construction manager shall not impose methods and systems or designs that will affect the construction schedule of the project manager and impair the design concept of the architect. That's only a limitation sa practice. Kung CM, honest siya ibang limitation. So, professional fee of the architect as full-time supervisor for group projects, regardless, no? FTS, ang architect full-time supervisor, ang iyang rate should still be 1 to 1.5% of the PCC. Okay na siya ang rate sa architect. Okay? Sa architect as full-time supervisor. 1 to 1.5. Upon request of the owner, who shall determine the effectiveness of the various building systems and the material systems in use and assist the proper third parties in evaluating the functional effectiveness of the design and construction process undertaken. So that should be the architect. Okay. So, and upon request of the owner, architect should determine effectiveness of the various building systems. This is still part of our SAP 2.0. This should be 205. SPP 205. Still part of our services. Okay. assist punta no, for the proper third parties in evaluating the functional effectiveness of the design and construction process undertaken. Who shall pay for the services of a licensed surveyor for confirmation and certification of the location of column centers, piers, walls, slits, trenches, cover, and other similar works required by the contract. Okay, we know na ang owner is the very entity ng mata na to ng land plans, survey plans. Okay? Pero kanang mga additional na gano'n, just to confirm, okay, that is already the contractor. Okay? So, contractor na siya. No? So, just to clarify, just to make sure, para align na lang niya ang sukat, ang drawings architect. So, the contractor may pay for additional services to have a surveyor properly align with the apil na ng mga walls, bits, trenches, mga pipe as well. Activity lines. Part na sa contract. Okay. So this professional's primary responsibility is to exercise overall cost control, which relieves the owner of many of the anxieties that usually beset, particularly those concerned with forecasting costs and completion dates. So that is the project manager. No? That's the exercise of overall cost control. And forecasting cost and deadlines. PM na siya. Right? Okay. So, a method of compensation frequently used where there is a continuing relationship involving a series of projects. No? Combination bonus events. So that should be PFPE. Professional fee plus expenses. So, professional fee or gross monthly income of the architect who offers post-construction services, building and equipment maintenance, that's for SPP 205, and as well as the official visit, backup, fee. Right? We also had this in our discussion. The gross monthly income should be about 4 to 6%. Okay. So what scope of service is it that the architect shall see to it that the building and all the parts thereof are all in good condition. Formulate and enforce rules for the proper use of the building facility, particularly in the common areas in the emergency exit areas. So this should be part of SPP 205 as well. That should be building maintenance. That is building maintenance. Number 11. So professional fee if the CM with 6 months of service. Right? So sa high ka na sa mga board exam ng mga questions sa Hollywood Track keep tungod lang in 1 year, 2 months or whatever. No? Regardless, ang gipangit diri is the quantity ng minimum and maximum. So still, the answer should be 1.5 to 3% per CM. Okay, that is in your SPP 204B. Last, professional fee of the project manager who not only plans and organizes the construction but oversees all professionals to be on schedule. That's in our SPP 206. That should be 2 to 5% of PCC. Okay? So, ito mga professional fees na to as architects, project managers. Professional fees should be 2 to 5% of PCC, of the probable construction costs. Okay. Okay. So, I hope na check on it. Do we have any questions for our quiz so far? prepare that at Monday, guys. We will have an exam on STB 207, 208. Let us go into we will see. We will see. Okay, now so let's continue with our discussion. So the as built, the design build services. So now we are finished with SPP 201, 202, 203, 204A and B, 205, 206. Now we are now in SPP 207, 208, and let us will include 209. 209 should be consultation services. Consulting services. Anyway, so we will start with 207 first. Okay, no? So for SPP 207, we are akan siya to ang design build services. So in any building project, there is a need, no? Or there is need to balance the elements of time, quality, and cost. Mabagay na siya sa itong project management. Skills na. Right. So kanang time, quality, and cost, that is always part of project management. No? So in design and build, so ikaw architect, once mo engage na ka of build, so mawin na siya ang mga elements, no? Or components na yun considered time, quality, and cost, which in many cases can best be achieved by the architect performing design build services. So the building industry and the architectural profession have devised several methods, no, of project delivery with the ultimate goal of handling projects in the shortest possible time, at the lowest possible cost, and at the acceptable quality and performance, no, of materials and delivery. Okay? So an architect with this education, training, and expertise qualifies him to take a direct role in the project, no? From conceptualization to implementation. So from the start, research to design, all the way to contractual, then to construction, then to post-construction. Okay. So the architect renders professional services in the implementation of design. So in design build services, he assumes the professional responsibility and the civil liability of both the design and the construction process, no? Or the construction of the project. Okay, so ang liability na to no, once we engage ka of design and build, sabi ikaw na as a design, ikaw na as construction, you are both the technically you are both the architect and the contractor. So nananin mo ang liability atin sa contractor and design, no? Okay? So you are taking responsibility of that liability. So the scope of design build services. So in design build services, no, to how many siya kabuok, we have by administration and by guaranteed maximum cost. Okay. So first, let's start with design build services by administration. So the scope of design build services by the administration is similar to that of the architect's regular design services, no, SPB 202. Right? So first, no, we have project definition phase. Okay, we have the project definition phase. We have the schematic design phase, the design development phase, contract document phase, construction phase. Okay, agi na ito naman. And then during the construction phase, no, after some design tanan, susugod na tawag construction phase, when the various phases of design services are completed, the construction phase goes beyond periodic inspection and assessment to include the following. So, number one, no? So we prepare the architect, will prepare, or the design build architect will prepare schedule of work, construction program, cost estimate of materials, labor transportation, equipment, mga services as reference for the construction. Okay? As well as hires construction personnel and designates duties. So, mag-organize there will be an organization of construction personnel. Okay? What else? Negotiation and entering into contract with piecework contractors and evaluation of work accomplishments. Procures materials, plants, equipment, licenses, and permits. Mag-authorize payments of accounts as well, undertaking payments of accounts, keeping records of books of accounts as well, negotiation with government and private agencies having jurisdiction over the project, manages all other business of the construction, mga business transactions related to the project construction. Okay? So, mauna siya, no? This is by administration. What else? So, we naagay conditions kung din makita for design build and by administration. So, first, kung sabi sa mga condition, once makip-contract na sa ito ang owner or makakontract na sa itong client, we have the cost of labor and materials paid directly by the owner. Okay. Right, no? So, ikaw, architect, design build ka, ang imong services is strictly, strictly katong dimension to beforehand, preparation and schedule work, organize ka sa mga tao, and all of that. Okay? Procure ka, mga hatag ang estimates nila, mga permits, authorize ka, records, and all of that. No? So, when it comes to the construction, ang cost of labor and materials, ang owner na ang bahalaan. No? Basta administration. Okay? So, admin lang ka, no? Admin. Ang mga tao is admin. Okay? So, ang mga tao, dili imuha. Or, pili imuha, ang owner ang mabayan. Okay? So, if wala ikabay ng owner, nahulong po na construction. Right? Depende sa hepon, depende na siya sa sabot with the owner. But usually, imuhang tao, ang owner mo bayan. Okay? Or, na yung mga tao ang owner, ikaw admin ng lead architect or engineer, whichever. No? So, again, cost of labor and materials are paid directly by the client. Architect's estimate guaranteed on a range of 10% plus or minus. No? So, kung unsay guarantee, no? So, if, for example, during the construction phase, ang budget is, for example, 5 million, i-make sure sa architect that within less 10% or above 10%, diha again tama ang budget. Okay? So just like the project manager, if muhatag og budget ang owner, more din na siya ng budget. But for the architect for administration, isitulit lang na ang 5 million, alam na siya 10%, so ang kababaw na niya is 5.5 million or 4.5 million. Okay? So, mauna ang range sa project na budget. So, dapat maigo siya from 4.5 million to 5.5 million. Okay? So, mauna, no? That's how it goes. Okay? For the architect as administration. So, see to it na dili kayo manobra, di po kayo sumukuha. No? Kulang. Okay? Just enough. So, architect appoints with client's approval a construction superintendent, purchasing agent, timekeeper, and property clerk. Okay, salaries to be paid directly by the client. Okay, so of course, kung mo enter ang architect for design build services as an administration or as admin, mo hire jud ka imong kagalingon na construction superintendent, no? Or what we call, pwede ko na ito tawag o supervisor, construction supervisor. Mo hire ka imong purchasing agent or liaison nimo para may imong sugo-sugo, no? Palit og mga materials. At the same time, kailangan mo ka timekeeper to keep track of all the labor workers, no? What time sila ni in, what time sila ni out, ilang kitaon, and so on. And property clerk to check all equipment, mga heavy equipment and tools sa transaction, no? So all of this are paid by the client. Huh? This is by administration. You can offer such services. Another, cost of permits and licenses incidental to work are paid also by the client. Okay? So of course, ikaw imong license. So imong license permits, kato mga occupancy, building permit, all of this will be paid by the client. No? Regardless kung sa mga padong tanan sa client ng siya. Ang ato ara ani no as kani for this service is admin. Okay? Compensation for the design build services, the administration, that should be 7% of the PCC. Okay? Take note of that, guys. So, if design build services, the administration, 7% ang atoan of the PCC, no? So, I mentioned the 5 million, right? So, ano 5 million, wala ni mo ng 7%, mao na yung rate for design build services. Okay? Administration na siya. So that is your gauge, 7%. Next, we have design build for on a guaranteed maximum cost. Okay. So let's discuss this. So this method is essentially the same as design build by administration, except that the architect provides the owner or client a guaranteed maximum project construction cost for the construction of the project. So the architect gives the owner an estimate of the project. If upon completion, there is a realized savings from the estimated project construction cost, that savings is divided equally between the owner and the architect. Alright? So simply saying, for example, 5 million, right? Yeah, I mentioned kanina, 10 less or 10 above. So 4.5 to 5.5. Muna siya i-gauge for the admin architect. But for guaranteed maximum cost, 5 million din siya. Mawin na siya ang budget sa owner. If, for example, 4.8, muna talaga gasto, 4.8 million, 20,000 will be divided equally. Right? Okay? Will be divided equally if savings. At the same time, the project construction cost is guaranteed by the architect not to exceed 10% of the estimated project construction cost. No? So, if 5.5 million, so the maximum, dapat hindi na siya mulapas. Okay? But if mulapas, should the actual cost exceed the estimated project construction plus 10%, the architect shall be liable for the excess amount, but only up to the amount of the administration fee. Okay? So, 5 million, di ba? Okay? Nilapas na 10%. So, ikaw na yung mutapal, anak. You get what I mean? So, 5.5 or 4.5 to 5.5. If admin ka, ang client na mutapal na tanan. But for guaranteed maximum cost, 5 million, hindi na siya 4.5 to 5.5. 5 million din na isa. If less ka of 4.8, for example, 4.8 total construction cost, kanang 200K, i-divide niyo na sa owner. Okay, that is for the instance na gamay kanang wala na nubra. But if manubra, for guaranteed maximum cost, for example, 5.3, no, nilapas na 300K. Kanang 300K ang matapal ana will be ikaw, architect. Okay, but not until katong 10%. No? So, dili na po tama na 5.5. Once malapas na ng 5.5, wala na po. Tama na din siya 5.5. Wala po na yung maximum. Okay, I hope nasaktan na siya. No? So, if for guaranteed maximum cost, if less than 5 million, since maman ka ng budget sa owner, ang sobra divide with the architect and the owner. But if mula pa siya, ang mutapal will be the architect. Okay? That is guaranteed maximum PCC. Right? So, should there be additional expenditures beyond the guaranteed maximum project construction cost, which are due to legitimate change, variations, extra work orders, or mga substantial escalations of prices of the cost of materials or labor, as evidenced by data, certified by the nationally recognized agencies such as the NEDA, and then the National Economic Development Authority, or to other causes na attributable to the fault of the architect. So usahay nung no, from the first estimate na kung gihatag 5 million. But a long time, at actually ibutan in 6 months time, nilapas siya. Kay tungod kay inflation. Yung ginakita yan. So, nanumbra of 100,000. Just an example. Nanumbra of 100,000. So, muna niya siya ang mga tendencies, no? Na nagitay, we can back it up. Muna siya na we have to keep records. We have to check no, from our initial estimate until after in 6 months time. Muna, if possible, ipapalit di ka ng materials na para malikayanin na natin ang mga tendencies. Okay? Right. So, as again, same service as design, build, and administration. Client given the guaranteed maximum cost. So, muna siya. So, a revolving capital is given at the start of construction. Architect does not advance any amount. Okay? So, net savings divided between client and architect, no, if naisumbra from the guaranteed maximum account, for example, 5 million. Ang excess ana, okay, will be divided by the client and architect as well. No? Excess of less than 10%. No? Basta less than 10%, 4.5. Ay, for example, 5 million, right? Human ang project 4.2. So, ang i-divide na ninyo sa owner ana will be katurang 4.5. Okay? Katurang 4.5 million, right? 10% from so mag-divide mo to 50. Pero katong 30,000 sa 4.2, direct balik na sa owner. Excess more than 10%, architect pays for all extra costs. Right? So architect's fee, either 10% of the BCC or is built in the guaranteed maximum cost. So sa administration, 7%, but for this one, yun siya medyo risky, no? 10% ang rate ni mo, okay? Or ang fee ni mo, 10%. Okay, so the manner of providing services. So the architect may be involved in construction, including that of his own design, by adapting an arrangement different from the general way of bidding out projects, or to contractors, or from the different modes of design build services. So such an arrangement may take the form of any of the following. So, the architect is part or a member of an entity constructing his design. He works in tandem or with or has authorized an entity to construct his design. Pwede na ito na siya. So, if ikaw mo pay ka for design build services as guaranteed maximum cost or administration, pwede rin kung ka mo hire o contractor, but that's on to you. Ikaw na siya. Okay? The architect is himself as the state licensed contractor, no? Or nakay PCAB. Okay, nakay PCAB na license. So you can be a contractor as well. So in adapting any of the above arrangements, no? So as we pakita dire, okay, so the architect must retain his separate or distinct professional identity, prerogatives, and integrity as an architect, and is therefore subject to the standard and tenets of the SPP. Okay, Facebook. Okay, and of course, atong include diha atong civil code and our code of ethics as well. So whatever mode the architect adopts in being involved in construction, he or she must strictly adhere to the tenets of the architect's credo, with the pledge that that architect shall disclose whenever required any business investment or ventures that may tend to create conflict of interest, no? And ensure that such conflict neither compromise the legitimate interest of the client nor interfere with his study to render impartial judgment. Right? No? Okay? So that was also our methods of compensation for that. So, medyo relevant na po na itong method composition sa itong SPP 202. Okay, these are design and build services. So, pwede rin niya siya for PCC. Pwede na PCC mo offer ano, pwede po na PFPE. If government niya siya, pwede po na lump sum. No? So, wala siya. But usually, PCC. Right? Okay. Alright, so do we have any questions for SPP 207? Wala lang may question, guys, for SPP 207. Right, hit na nagsaktan na. So I hope you're taking notes, of course. Right. So next, we will discuss now on SPP 208. By the way, ako nag i-upload ang ato ang SPP 207 and 208 sa ato ang Google Drive. So you can check on that later. SPP 208, this is what we usually call the Standards of Professional Practice on Architectural Design Competition, ADC. No? SPP 208. So, mo na siya ang before SPP 209. Okay, so we replace niya ang SPP 208. Sorry. SPP 209 na siya before kaning Architectural Design Services. No? Ang old na to ng SPP, and SPP 209, this is the Architectural Design Services. Ipulihan niya ang 208, ang 208 balhin sa 202. Okay? For those na wonder, no? So, ang 208 usually naadiha ang atong methods of selection. Okay, or methods of how compensation. Ibalhin na sa 202. So, 209 became 208 and 209 bago na siya, which is the Professional Architectural Consulting Services. No? Ikaw as consultant. Okay. Right, no? So, let's get into it. SPP 208, Architectural Design Competition. So, the purpose of this SPP for ADC is to state the principles upon which competitions are based, and by which promoters or owners be guided in organizing ADCs. So it has been drawn up of the interest of both project proponents, owners, and competitions or competitors. Okay, so we have here the different entities involved for this one. We have the owner. No, take note of this, guys. Okay, we'll slide. Anyway, so the entities involved for ADC, we have the owner, the jury, the professional advisor, usually the architect, the technical advisors, the competition secretariat, and other, and of course, our competitors. Okay, we have the owner. No, so of course, the owner usually for EDC, kay mahal man yung EDC, so dili niya siya basta-basta na owner. No, this owner could be Ayala, this owner could be SM. This owner could be those kind of mga big companies. Okay? So, it may be a person or organization that undertakes or promotes an ADC with the primary objective of obtaining excellence in design, okay, for a project or for a development concept. So, the owner issues the invitation to architects to submit plans, designs in accordance with the program and finances the ADC. Okay? The jury, on the other hand, usually 7 na sila book. Odd number din sila. Hindi siya dapat even. Para wala yung tie. No? So, the people appointed by the owner to assess the entries to the competition, normally siya ang jury. Okay? So, the members of the jury are called jurors. It consists of the majority of registered and licensed architects as well. Okay? So, mga RLAs na sila, no? Registered and licensed architects. Okay? So, they assisted din sila by a lay juror to represent and voice the intention of the owner. So, they are nominated by the owner and approved by the Integrated and Accredited Professional Organization of Architects, or the IFO. Okay? then we have the professional advisor, an architect nominated by the owner and approved by the IAPOA to organize the ADC on behalf of the owner. So usually, busy lang din ang owner. So mag-hire na sila of advisor. Right? And then we have also the technical advisors, the specialist personnel who may be consulted by the jurors during the conduction of the ADC to permit them to obtain all necessary relevant information. Okay. And then we have the competition secretariat, the body formed by the owner and approved by the professional advisor to assist the professional advisor and the jury in the administrative conduct of the ADC. Okay. So the ADC shall be classified as follows. Now we have project ADC for actual projects proposed for implementation. We have ideas competition, conceptual ideas, especially the mga master plan. Kanang Mandawi Global City sa mga partnering firm. So they won, no? They won the bid. I-coordinate sila o i-team up sila o foreign practitioners, Korean architects here. So they are the 11th international, top architects, 11th architects na sila worldwide. Okay? So puhon na natin NGC, so BGC sa Manila, na sa Cebu. Okay? So giagi na siya o competition. Okay? That's what we call sa project ADC or ideas competition or competition of ideas set as a design and planning exercise to elucidate the problem. But usually, project ADC din siya kanarang. Okay, hindi masayang for project ADC din siya dito. So, project ADCs may be conducted in a single stage or two-stage manner. It may either be open or limited by invitation. No? So, example, an open invitation or open ADC. No? So, anyone can enter. Anyone willing will spend time to share or to bukas tutok sila sa ilang design, ipakita nila. Okay? That is open. And ang limited invitation is tagan siya letter, no? Formal letter. So, for example, Ayala, sendan ka letter nila na they would want to join Mark and bid. Okay? They would like you to be part of the bid. Are you willing? No? Kanya ang mugasto usually is the owner, of course. Okay? And the comes the time they invited you. Okay? So if dili ka invited, open ka, ikaw gasto. But if you're invited, sila yung gasto. So project ADCs shall be further classified according to degree of complexity based on project classification under the SPP2. Okay? So, dapat din siya IAPOA approve. No? IAPOA approval din dapat ng ADC. Okay, so before the owner makes an official announcement, the IAPOA through the ADC committee shall send the owner a written approval of the draft conditions. So including the timetable, the ADC registration fee when if required, and the composition of the jury. No? So that's also one. And then we have a notice of a national architectural design competition. Usually, if national siya competition, agiya mo na sa IAPOA, shall be issued by the owner or the IAPOA ADC committee secretariat with a request for publication in technical journals and through the other media at their disposal. Simultaneously, if possible, to enable those interests to apply for the competition, such an announcement shall state where and how the ADC documents may be obtained, and that the ADC conditions have received the requisite IAPOA approval. Okay? So, drawing up the ADC conditions. Excuse me. Right. So, it is essential that the anonymity of competitors should be maintained until the final judgment of the competition. competition. So, if mo appeal ka aning mga competition, ADC, anonymous ka. Ang dili ka maibawaan kung kinsay ni appeal. No? What you know is that na-ay invitation for you to join such bidding. I-debrief ka, tingnan ka nga, mauni kailangan, and so on and so forth. No? It is only until the last final submission or presentation pagka makahibaw kinsay mga competitors or kinsay mga compete. No? So, kahit tulo din mo kabuok, upat mo kabuok, na-compete no, for this design competition. Regardless, the ADC conditions, including the program of requirements of the national ADC, shall be identical for all competitors. So the conditions for national ADC were single or two-stage upon limited shall state clearly. No? So, mga siya ang mga conditions niya. So the purpose of the ADC and the intentions of the owner, the nature of the problem to be solved, and all the requirements which competitors must meet, no? To meet, and standards to meet. So a clear distinction shall be made between the mandatory requirements of the competition and those which permit the competitor freedom of interpretation. Okay? So all competition entries shall be submitted in a manner to be prescribed in the conditions. Right. So the conditions shall state the number or nature, scale, and dimension of the documents, plans or models required, and the terms of acceptance of such documents or models. Where an estimate of cost is required, the condition must prescribe a standard form of presentation. Okay? And of course, we have the professional advisor. The professional advisor should be appointed and paid by the owner and approved by the Ayapowa National Board of Directors, the NBD, through this ADC committee. So his role is the supervision of the conduct of the ADC and the preparation of the conditions. So the function of the professional advisor includes ensuring dispatch of reply to all competitors and the receipt of competition entries, and safeguarding the anonymity of the competitors all the time. Okay, or at all times. So, Anisha, the professional advisor, will assist the jury and will present during its deliberations, but dili na siya appeal sa pagbutan. Ang jury rin mag-vote. Professional advisor will not be allowed to vote. So his responsibility will be limited to the organizations and the conduct of the competition. Okay? Ito siya ang PA, no? Professional advisor. Now let's talk of the jury. So what does a jury consist of? So the jury shall be set up before the official announcement of the competition. Their names and those of the reserved members of the jury shall be stated in the conditions. So usually 7 din sila and should not exceed 7, and dapat odd numbers din siya, no? Dapat odd number din siya. Dili equal. Okay? Or dili even number. So the jurors are appointed by the owner and approved by Ayapowa. They shall compose of the smallest reasonable number of persons, no? In any event, and dapat odd numbers and should not exceed 7. Okay? To ensure correct conduct of the competition, at least one of the architect jurors shall represent the Ayapowa. Okay? And usually, if kanang owner mo kuha lang siya mga architects, na mo pabor-pabor, no? So, at least na one na accredited by Ayapowa para dili papaboran. Mo din na siya ng say. Right? Okay, no? And then, there should not be more than one representative of the owner included in the jury. Okay? Walay representative. Should not be more than one. Okay, actually, isa lang din iyang representative. Pero ang tendency mo lang nag is pabor-pabor lagi. Pero mawala na siya, no? Not more than one. It is essential that all jurors be present at all meetings of the jury. Each juror shall see the conditions before they are made available to competitors. Okay? So the decisions of the jury shall be taken by a majority vote with a separate vote of each competition plan design submitted. So the list of the EDC awards, including the jury's reports to the owner, shall be signed by all jurors before the jury is dissolved, and one copy of this document shall be sent to the IFO. Okay? I hope that is clear enough. So the jury shall disqualify any design which does not conform to the mandatory requirements, instructions, or conditions of the ABC. Right? So the jury must also make awards. So yung po is awarding. So the award shall be final and made public by a date agreed on with the IFOA and stated in the competitions. So the jury, when distributing the award, shall make full use of the amount set aside for prizes by the ABC commissions. So imagine how costly this is sa owner. So the fees and travel expenses, mga expenses the jury members shall be paid all by the owner. No? Rarely do we get mga EDC competition. It's very costly. Pero it is also required, especially kung kailangan din, especially katong nadagpo na companies na developments. Even BGC, lagi ko na siya usahay yung BGC. BGC, lagi na sila competition to get the best design possible. Persons not eligible for entry to the ADC, so no member of the jury will be allowed to take part of the competition either directly or indirectly, nor be commissioned with work connected with the prize-winning design either directly or indirectly. No member of the promoting body, nor the associate or employee, nor any person concerned with the preparation or organization of the ABC will be eligible to compete or assist a competitor. No? Mabili sila ang batalyan, no? Wala yung pabor, if possible. Okay? The prices, honoraria, mentions. So I'll just read this now so that we have time to read this also. Registration list, jump directly to the registration of competitors. Okay, so if it is an open competition, ikaw registered as part of the competitor. As soon as they receive details of the architectural design competition, all competitors shall register with the owner. Ditso ka sa owner. Registration implies acceptance of the conditions of the EDC. Now, so the owner shall issue to all competitors all the necessary documents or documentation for prepping their plans and designs, where the furnishing of such documentation is conditional on payment of the deposits unless otherwise stated. Such a deposit shall be returned to competitors who submitted a bona fide plan design. So again, if you submitted your design, technically buy that every time. So the names of those competitors selected to proceed to the second stage of a two-stage competition shall be made publicly, or shall be made public only under exceptional conditions to be agreed on by the jury before launching the ABC. Right. Okay. Right, no? So that is usually the EDC. So a lot of times, EDC it's very costly, especially to the part of the owner. Usahin na yung mga EDC na mula pas gino, hindi na kang kahimo balad. Mabok na sila 5M, 10M, sobra pa ganyan usahin. Just to have that competition. So, a lot of people will be included na nakita. Hindi gusto nyo makwarta gid kay Pablo gid siya. Okay, so for Ayala, no? Ayala Land Corp, no? So sa akin, although na sila ilang own architect, in-house architect, before magbutang na sila competition. Like SM, they also have the in-house architect. Competition na sila sa akin. Okay, so if may turn ka ito kanila to be part of this competition, bibo good siya, buto naon to be meeting a lot of people, i-bid na yun, award, kinsay design na nakuha, and all of that. So technically, if ikaw client, mag-hire ka of architect to be part of this event, you will pay them the full amount, it's with the full amount. Like, complete mo na siya. Or depende, no? If conceptual lang siya, then ang conceptual na pibayran sa owner. Okay? Muna po na yung design sa people. So once mapilian nila na siya, then mo na ilang i-push through for the next one. Right? Okay? So SPP 208, no? That is the architectural design competition. Also part of this, the method of selection. We have direct selection of ikaw architect to be part ani. So direct selection. We have comparative selection. We also have the design competition. So that's also one. So if ikaw architect, you will have one siya imong method of selections. No? Okay, so we're just gonna run through all of the methods of compensation. We are just finishing up. I will also include SPP 209 guys ha. But commonly basa ni is just short. Commonly is professional architectural consulting services. So technically, himuan ko nila is if ikaw architect consultant ng kumpanya. Awa dili na kung stress din but I will just upload the SPP. So we have percentage of construction costs. This is the PCC or kana kung gitawag na worldwide na to. Method of payment or method of compensation. And we have NDPE for non-creative work. We have the professional fee plus expenses for continuing projects. Lump sum or fixed fee for government projects. Per day or plus reimbursable expenses for per hour ni mo, no? If mag per hour ka or per day, no? Ano siya per day, per hour. Then we have also mixed methods of compensation. Technically, sagol-sagol, no? So pwede ta percentage, yung kanang percentage be per day o bayad sa inyo. No? So ano. Alright. So this is just the summary of the code. So SPP 200, that is our code of ethical conduct. So part of SPP, we have SPP 201, pre-design services, SPP 202, design services, 203, specialized and allied services. We have 204. A is full-time services, full-time construction supervision, and B is construction services and construction management services. 205 is post-construction services. 206 is the comprehensive architectural services. 207 is design build services. And 208 is the architectural design services, the selection of architect, and the methods of compensation. But part of the methods of compensation, tuwa na siya nalabay sa SPP 202. No? And ang back tanan is the official design. Okay? When it comes to the percentage payments and all of that, naana sa inyong official design. Okay? Now, you are set for SPP exam. Inyo ni sarihan guys because this will all come out sa atong finals, no? Final exam. Okay, I hope you have taken notes. Part na no? Okay. Right, so do we have any questions? Okay, so we'll take questions. Alright. Let's proceed. Alright, so let's have our attendance. Today is December 2. December 2 Monday. Oh, sorry. December 2 Friday. So full name is it present? Alfante.
Present, sir.
Aranas.
Present, sir.
Mentado. Hawaiian. Beltran.
Present, sir.
Benitez.
Present, sir.
Itang.
Present, sir.
Borja. Bulayo.
Present, sir.
Adalo,
Sir.
Abulada,
Present, sir.
Kalimbayan, Alizar,
Present, sir.
Celero,
Present, sir.
Okay, Dudulea,
Present, sir.
Dominisa,
Present, sir.
Isabas,
Present, sir.
Isaga,
Present, sir.
Lorimo, Escatron,
Present, sir.
Gandolfos,
Present, sir.
Pilot, Infesto,
Present, sir.
Burden,
Present, sir.
Nofinte, Maningat,
Present, sir.
Murada,
Present, sir.
Ingito, Mission,
Present, sir.
Polania,
Present, sir.
Present po dito, sir.
Ordidor,
Present, sir.
Pamine,
Present.
Pinos,
Present, sir.
Oras, Salmasan,
Present, sir.
Saligumba,
Present, sir.
Solis, Tejada,
Present, sir.
Villafuerte,
Present, sir.
Bulak.
Present, sir.
Right, no? So,
Present, said our sir.
right, no, so take note of the SPP 278 and I will upload 209. Miss na siguro na component. So I already uploaded that in your drive to study it. We will have a short quiz on SPP 207, 8, and 9, no, for next meeting. Right? Okay, so basically, ang actually cover na will be SPP 207, 8. Quiz naman siya. Right? Do we have any questions regarding our discussion for today? Wala. Alright. Okay. Alright, since no questions, then that's all for today now. So thank you everyone sa inyong time. See you all next meeting. Okay.